The sun rises over a Paleolithic landscape. In a world without cities, without writing, without even permanent homes, a small group of humans stirs around the flickering embers of last night's fire. Some prepare for a day of foraging, others check for signs of nearby game, but among them something subtler is unfolding. Glances exchanged, gentle touches, shared food. Could this be love? When we think of the Stone Age, we often picture brute survival, hunting, gathering, staying warm. But humans weren't just biological machines. They felt, they bonded, and yes, at some point, they fell in love. But what did that look like in a world before romance novels, candlelit dinners, or even the word love itself? Let's go back in time, deep time. The Paleolithic era stretches from roughly 2.6 million to 12,000 years ago. That's 99% of human history. In this vast period, Homo sapiens evolved, spread across continents, and began to form complex social lives. But love? That's harder to see in the archaeological record. Yet clues exist. Burials with grave goods, carvings of human figures embracing, consistent pairings in skeletal remains. These fragments hint at emotional depth, at relationships that were more than just functional. Let's start with biology. Humans are one of the rare mammal species to form long-term pair bonds. Evolutionary anthropologists believe this bond evolved not just for emotional reasons, but practical ones. Raising helpless infants in a dangerous world required cooperation. A mother alone couldn't do it. But two adults, emotionally attached, had a better shot at success. So love wasn't just a luxury, it was adaptive. And with it came the roots of courtship, attachment, and even heartbreak. But what did courtship look like without jewelry, perfume, or dating apps? Likely, it was subtle and deeply rooted in survival. Sharing food, protecting one another from predators, collaborating on hunts or gathering. These acts weren't just practical. They built trust. Research on modern hunter-gatherers offers clues. Among the Hadza of Tanzania or the Kung of southern Africa, relationships often begin with mutual cooperation. Men may offer meat or honey. Women may offer gathered food or help with tools. These gestures communicate reliability, generosity, and commitment, essential traits in a mate. And let's not underestimate attraction. Anthropological studies suggest that even Paleolithic humans cared about appearance. Carvings like the Venus figurines may reflect ideals of fertility and beauty. Scarification, ochre body paint, and adornments made from shells or feathers weren't just decoration. They were signals of identity, of health, of appeal. What about jealousy, monogamy, affairs? It's complicated. There's no one model for Paleolithic love. Some groups may have favored pair bonding. Others may have been more fluid. The archaeological record doesn't show marriage certificates, but it does show patterns. Groups that lived, traveled, and buried their dead together. That suggests long-term partnerships, some loving, others perhaps strategic. Emotional depth is hard to fossilize, but human brains haven't changed much in tens of thousands of years. The same neurochemicals, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, that drive love today likely did then. A touch, a shared laugh, a quiet moment at the fire. It's not hard to imagine Paleolithic love felt remarkably familiar. Even parenting shows the emotional core of early relationships. Fossilized footprints in volcanic ash show adults walking side by side with children, sometimes carrying them. Infant remains buried with care, sometimes with small tokens or pigments, suggest deep parental bonds. These weren't just biological acts. They were gestures of love, protection, and grief. So what happened when love went wrong? Heartbreak, rejection, or loss? In small bands, emotions couldn't be hidden. If a partner died, or chose another, it was felt collectively. Emotional survival was as crucial as physical survival. And that emotional landscape, just like today, included joy, sorrow, attachment, and longing. In the end, Paleolithic love wasn't all that different from ours. It lacked roses and text messages, but it had presence, eye contact, shared labor, mutual care. In a world stripped to essentials, love may have been one of the few luxuries and necessities they had. So the next time you imagine the Stone Age, don't just picture stone tools and mammoth hunts. Picture two humans sitting close beside the fire, laughing, touching, trusting, because even before the first word for love was ever spoken, it was already being lived.